navigate the educational process during the pandemic, there are so many things and options to consider, including a Montessori education. Karrin and Diana are here to tell us more. Well, Karrin, you've been here. We've been talking about Southwest Montessori Academy and the differences in a Montessori education, and you brought along a parent today, so introduce us to Diana.
Yeah, so this is Diana. She is in her 4th year of being a parent at our school. Her older child spent 3 years with us and then went on to public school 1st grade, and now her younger child is with us in his 2nd year.
So tell us, how do you feel about the educational journey you've had, or your children have had, in the Montessori Academy, or specifically in Southwest Montessori Academy?
Well, one of the ways specifically my older son benefited from the Montessori program is in his development of his fine motor skills. So my oldest son was born premature, and as a result, he lagged in his fine motor skills since he was an infant. And as he moved forward into a school system, you know, he lagged in the skills, so he didn't have confidence in it, so he didn't want to. Like, he had no desire to take a pencil to paper. So in the Montessori world, what they did was, what they do in the class is they follow the child. So they let the child sort of do what they're interested in and then build on their academic skills around that. So he was super interested in maps, loves maps. And in the classroom, they have all these great big maps, and they have, you know, world maps, United States, different continents, different countries. And they all have these little wooden pieces with a little pellet, and he'd be able to pick them up and trace it, and he could either, you know, take all of them one at a time out and trace them to replicate the puzzle and then paint or color it, or he could use a pin poker and poke around the edges of it and then be able to sort of paste that back and forth. And so doing that built up the strength in his hands, which really did a lot to grow his fine motor skills. And when he got to a point it was time to learn how to start writing, they were just, you know, encourage him to start writing the names of the countries or the states, and it actually led to his development of his ability to write letters and words and eventually sentences.
I've got some pictures I want to show while you're talking about this, because I think they correlate together. But talk about how the education transferred to the home environment, how those correlated together.
One thing that I really like about Southwest Montessori Academy is the partnership they have with parents. So they have classes that they offer for free for parents of current students in positive discipline, doing Montessori materials and activities at home, Montessori math, how they teach numbers, Montessori reading, how they teach the basics of writing in words and such. And additionally, in the classroom, there's a whole area set up in the classroom called the practical life, and they practice real life skills. They'll teach kids how to wash the windows, and they use real glass, and, you know, do laundry and fold laundry. And because they're doing it at school, it's really easy to mimic it at home. And they also do a lot to promote independence. And so, you know, as such, we just at home, my 4-year-old will get up in the morning. If they are capable of doing it, then they should be doing it for themselves.
Absolutely.
So my 4-year-old wakes up in the morning, he makes his bed, he gets himself dressed, puts away his pajamas, turns off his light, comes down, makes his breakfast. So that also translates really well at home.
I would love that for my 16-year-old. So quickly, just tell me about that transition in like 15 seconds, the transition from Montessori to regular school, to public school.
They teach so many things around proper socialization and give you a good tool set for just the basics of knowing math and reading, that when they transfer to the public school system, they just have a good, healthy toolbox for how to adapt in a new setting.
I love it. Well, if you're interested in Southwest Montessori Academy and the Montessori education system, please give them a call and schedule a tour today. They're registering for next semester right now, 434-4450. We'll be right back.